Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new video here on the channel. Now this video sure was a long time in the making, but I'm really excited to be bringing you this video today because it involves some amazing videos that you're about to see featured in this video, all of which will be linked in the description below, so go watch all of these great videos and subscribe to the even greater channels that created them. You'd be doing yourselves a massive favour. Now the Skylanders 10-year anniversary has been and gone, but such a momentous event did not go uncelebrated. As a community, we banded together and celebrated it in each of our own different ways, so that's what I'm here to talk about today. Hence the title of the video itself. It truly goes to show the massive impact this franchise has had on so many people. It's inspirational how 10 years later we're all as passionate about this franchise as ever. When we weren't given a new game, we made one. There is a mod now changing the textures of Spyro's adventure, an expression of how talented and comedic our community really is. And we created memorable memes and stories to share with one another, spawning memories to last a lifetime. Enough of all this sobby stuff though, let's roll the intro and celebrate some celebration videos. It's basically Celebrationception at this point. I want to start off with the two videos I made. The second video I made was a personal dive into the history and passion behind the development of Spyro's Adventure and how its release impacted my life. I love this game still to this day, leading to the reason why I can talk about it for hours on end to this day. In fact, I could start talking about it now and still be talking about it when Spyro's Adventure hits its 20th anniversary. But I'll save you that tyranny. For my main celebration video, however, I brought together dozens of SkyTubers for my most ambitious collaboration yet. I asked all of these awesome content creators one simple question: how has Skylanders impacted you? Seeing all the clip submissions I received and the passion of these content creators truly brought a tear to my eye. The editing was so much fun. I added B-roll to overlay commentary at appropriate moments. I added background music and images, as well as mixed the audio by hand to ensure music was never overpowering and the volume didn't suddenly rise out of nowhere. Unfortunately though, I did forget to put one clip submission into the video, so I'm going to play that out for you right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Jabri from the Fellowship of Leaf. Today I'm going to quickly talk about why Skylanders is so special to me. And Skylanders is so special to me because I got it back in 2011 when it first came out, and I have loved the franchise ever since. It's played a major role in my just like creativity as well, such as drawing, writing. You might see that a lot of my drawings are inspired off of Skylanders and whatnot, and I just really miss the franchise. Hopefully one day it will return with a new game or something. And yes, to 10 years of Skylanders. I just want to thank Activision and just everyone, Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions for making this franchise, and also thanks to Ignite for allowing us to do this quick video. So thank you, bye.
With that out of the way, I wasn't the only creator who aimed to create a massive collaboration to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. I was part of this video posted on Portal Master's channel. It's nearly 90 minutes long and features well over 2 dozen content creators. The audio mixer may not be the editor's fault, but sometimes the music can be overpowering. That, however, is literally the only flaw I can find with the video. It's simply, how were you first introduced to Spyro's Adventure? What's your favourite character from Spyro's Adventure? And what's your favourite memory from Spyro's Adventure? To be a creator amongst several other channels that have inspired me growing up, like Octanblue, BRR Games and CoinUp TV, for this huge collaboration was a massive honour on my behalf, and it was incredibly humbling to see people who had that same degree of passion as I have. Portal Master and his fellow collaborators did a great job with this video, and a special shout out to these legendary creators who helped make this video possible. Digitnetics even wound up doing a reaction to this huge video. He live streamed it and brought a lot of personality. It was great watching him interact with commenters. After all, that is what streaming is about at the end of the day. His comments on individual clips were fun as well, but the main thing is that this video reinforces a sense of community. He's reacting to something with dozens of creators involved in a context where he can interact with dozens of more fans thanks to his live chat features. There truly is a sense of community about that, just finding these videos and sharing them so that we can all experience to the fullest what Skylanders content has become these days. Now, Portal Master's huge collaboration focused solely around Spyro's Adventure, as that's the specific game which is turning 10 years old. However, others, including myself for their videos, looked more towards the entirety of the franchise, its legacy, and more importantly, the people who make up its community, both past and present. The video trilogy created by the Skylander Dude, Shadow Dragon and Portal Master Evan showcases this perfectly, as the first part of the miniseries looked into the development team behind Skylanders. It impresses me that they managed to get the voice of Tidepool, otherwise known as Moira Quirk, as well as level designer and QA tester Ryan Steiner. It really hit me when we heard about how a video sending T-Rex to space really impacted the development team at Toys for Bob, and how our efforts as a community even go back to inspire them. It's a loop. If they create this game and inspire us, and in turn we create videos that they just find absolutely amazing and are so humble to have created this impact on all of our lives. So this truly gives them those moments of joy and pride over what they've made and how it's impacted millions of lives still to this day. For the next part, they brought back a bunch of creators who worked during the golden age of Skylanders. Seeing familiar faces like Frynut Gamer truly put a smile on my face. The third and final part is clearly the best one, given that I featured in it, therefore making it the best by default. But as I digress, this video looked into the content creators that keep the franchise alive in spirit still to this day. Us who endure and carry on to remain that spark within our community that can never be extinguished. The 3 videos also had a consistent editing style and tone, with black and white voiceovers of cutscenes and trailers, as well as intercutting by the content creators they collaborated with to make this celebration video a reality. Skylander Gamer TV made a full series retrospective for his video celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the franchise, not just Skylanders Adventure. He started by being rather informative, looking deep into the game's history as well as the story and gameplay mechanics of each of the titles within the Skylanders franchise. Soon enough, he wound up featuring SkyTubers when their favourite or least favourite games popped up. However, he also didn't shy away from adding a personal touch to a video. He ranked the games at the very end and shared his opinions and unique experiences playing each one of them. Overall, the video was well put together and an absolute joy to be a part of. A lot of time and effort went into this video, and it really shows, given the editing style as well as how well scripted and researched the video is in general. Teal Game Master also made a huge collaborative video to celebrate 10 years of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. However, just like the Skylander Dudes video, he managed to get a hold of developers who worked passionately behind the scenes to make exploring the world of Skylanders a reality for Portal Masters everywhere. There is some great chemistry and laughs to be had between all the developers and Teal himself. There is some awesome insight to the development of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, and it was so interesting to hear what these legendary developers had to say. Even 5 years later, without a new game in sight, these developers still love their work and craft put into Skylanders. Some of them have moved states and been promoted throughout the company, but yet that impact on their lives created by Skylanders has still lasted. It really hit me when Lou Studdard said you can take a single character, flesh them out, and make an entire game based around that one character. Has he been watching our videos? That's exactly what some fans have wanted for years, spin-offs based on our favourite characters. I certainly don't think an Igniter solo game could hurt the franchise.
The character team made like a bajillion characters over, the course of these games, and had to come up with new and unique experiences for each. Really kind of in a case study of game design, showing you all of the ways that you get to interact in this type of game or even other types of games is insane. Like it's Toby, pat yourself on the back. You and the team, you guys should be studying this, right? Like there's hundreds and hundreds of expressions of gameplay interaction in this series. And for me, like you can go back and think of a character who could probably, be fleshed out and star in his own series, from a gameplay standpoint. And the fact that there's hundreds of those is just banana pants. And so I think it's a textbook example of great game design.
Getting to hear the evolution of naming characters too was really cool. Imagine if they went through with the name Massive Mouth Whale for Thumpack.
Naming a Skylander was one of the most fun but most difficult experiences, because there's so many characters and you want everyone to have a really fun name. And so, between the studio, between us at Activision, we would actually basically make these Excel lists of massive amounts of possible names. And some of them were really fun, and some of them were just abysmally bad. And I remember this is how bad my goldfish brain is. Zulu was from Swap Force, right? Not Super. Yeah, he was Swap Force. So I remember we were getting all the Swap Force characters. We were working on a lot of them, and we were coming up with ideas. And Zulu was really hard to name, because if you remember, he's kind of like a panda gnome, like furry little dude with no neck and a staff, and you're coming up with all these other names. And he rode on all these animals, and it was one of those things where I think at the time, every name that we came up with, we had to get our current, or at the time, CEO Eric Hirschberg's thumbs up on. And so we'd come up with all these lists, we'd whittle it down into our top 5, and then we'd go in there and see what he liked. And I remember for Zulu, or at least that time, he had been circling around the idea of all our characters had these fun pun names, and he had really wanted a character just to have a normal human name for just for some reason. And I wasn't even in the meeting, and they went in, came out, and was like, yeah, we're gonna go with Zulu. And I'm like, this guy? Like, yeah, it kind of works, because Zulu, was on there and Zoo was on there. We also would have word associations, of just what does this character make you feel about? And they came out, it's like, you named a Skylander. So I didn't name it myself. I will say that. I did not go, yeah, this guy reminds me of me.
Big fuzzy dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is 8 years ago, so you probably don't remember, but do you remember to any of the original other ideas for Skylander?
Oh, goodness. Not necessarily Zulu himself, but I mean, some of the other characters, gosh. Yeah, I'd have to do some deep diving to find some of those old lists. But I remember there was one point we were so desperate with the Giants that one of the names for Thumpback, who was my first character that I named, I was very proud of that, was Big Mouth Whale. That's how sad we were. It was the worst name I'd ever seen. And that actually went into the meeting as a possibility. And it was please don't pick that one. We were very tired.
So thank heavens at least someone loves Prison Break.
And somehow I started leveling up Prison Break, and once you were able to start just turning dropping crystals on enemies that would kill them, and then being able to turn dead enemies into crystals, and then just light up the screen with as Jeff Gerstmann once called it, hot laser death. That was always an entertaining thing for me. So I think he's my favorite to play as.
And bringing up the fact that Drobot annihilates everything is absolutely right.
Unless you're playing Drobot, in which case Drobot wins everything. Drobot is
Yes.
awesome.
What I just showed you was the introduction to Thumplander's celebration video. I loved how it cut between clips to the beat of the music. Once again, a collaboration between many fans, as that's the literal tagline of the video. A video made for fans, by the fans. As always, all the collaborators did a great job making all of their clips unique and distinctive, but most importantly of all, driven by raw passion. Due to this being more of a fan-based production rather than a content creator production, you typically see more faces that we don't usually see. These would also be some people's first video they ever recorded, and that in and of itself is amazing to see the start of these people's content creation journey. It sends a message to all who watch it about the dedication and passion we all have towards this series, and it was truly powerful. Blending good editing with music to remind us of what makes this franchise so special to each and every one of us in the first place. Skyworld's stream started off with 90 minutes of her enormous 2-hour-long video looking into great depth about her dream Skylanders game. After those 90 minutes were up, however, a bunch of other awesome SkyTubers came on to talk about their awesome ideas for a Skylanders 7. They'll take a shot every single time I say awesome in this video, and I guarantee you will have been passed out by now. I love to see everyone's creativity and the crazy amount of depth and thought which went into Skyworld's idea. These are just truly amazing ideas, and we'd be lucky to see any one of them become a reality for Skylanders 7. It's really refreshing to look into the future of Skylanders for a 10-year anniversary rather than simply just celebrate the past. This does reinforce my worries about false hope, however. Skylanders 7 isn't likely to happen, at least not anytime soon. Plus, even if we were to get a Skylanders 7, it's not going to be exactly like what our dream games would entail. This could lead to disappointment, and no matter what the game is, it won't be perfect for everyone, as we all rank the 6 Skylanders games very differently, and the placement of this one would be no different. Some of you, after all this time, would put Skylanders 7 at the bottom of your ranking list, and that would be painful to see. Otherwise, I'm more than glad to see everyone's hope for a future of Skylanders, and this video overall was fun to watch and well made. Finally, when it comes to collaborations, we have Mikeanoid, whose video is mostly personal, as he saved for channel collaborators for short cameos towards the end of his excellent edit, whilst his wholesome message addressed to the community overplayed it. I featured as a short cameo showcasing my limited collection I brought with me to my university accommodation, but the rest of the video, similar to Skylar Gamer TV's, is a retrospective style video covering all 6 of the mainline console games. He, however, does take a brief look at the 3DS titles as well. He both reviews all of the games and gives personal memories and talks specifically about how each of these games impacted him growing up. The editing was also fast-paced and incredibly stylized, helping make the video quite comedic and overall consistent in tone. It's a great showcase of talent as I thoroughly enjoyed his video, and it's a great celebration of a franchise we all hold dearly to our hearts. Honkatron, or as he's known during the spooky month of October, Spookatron, well, he did a collaboration in a different vein, making his celebration video really unique. Instead of inviting a bunch of SkyTubers to come on and talk about something, instead he created a series of polls and had the community vote on the greatest music in Skylanders. Drillex's rap Run for Giants. Obviously, this song is iconic.
You don't stand a chance, Skylander. Even though you were that round, cause the power won't drop and the killer won't stop until the city of Truckers is found. On time out, Skylander. There's something up with my drill, but you better watch out. You'll be down for the count when I show you my smashing skill. What did you do, Skylander? You just won the final round. I can't keep you beat and my systems are all shutting down.
Anyways, I respect his choice to do something more unique. It favours interactivity with the community, and getting to come together to celebrate such incredible music is incredibly magical. And not to mention, getting to listen to these tracks really hits. I admire how powerful the music is, the emotion it raises, and most importantly, how Spookatron brought us all together to celebrate it. Next up is Boombringer. His video was one of the most powerful. He overlaid gameplay, trailer, and cutscene footage with iconic music tracks from the series. It really gave me a massive kick of nostalgia as I'd reminisce over hearing this music for the first time, and truly experiencing this game as Spyro's adventure isn't something you just play passively. Being a portal master, you are a part of this game's world. Taking a toy and placing it on the portal of power to bring it to life in a video game is simply magical, and having all those positive memories resurface certainly brought a tear to my eye. He also went to the extent of playing through the entire game on stream. Very impressive dedication right there. So in other words, Boombringer's stuff was well edited as it always has been. Octan Blue also streamed the game for the 10-year anniversary. I mentioned him previously as he featured in Portal Master's video, but overall it was great to interact with him and his chat during his fun, laid-back and casual stream where we could all reminisce over the childhood memories Spyro's adventure left with us, as well as the impact this franchise made on us in general. Octane Blue, on top of that, also did a 10-year anniversary playthrough. It was good to see an updated walkthrough by him, but it's also great to know that he still loves the game 10 years later. Otherwise, it was pretty standard of his channel's style, as he's known for his playthroughs and gameplay-orientated videos. For me, though, with him being a huge part of my childhood as I'd watch his Skylanders playthroughs each and every year the new games came out, so getting to see that all over again was incredibly nostalgic and very meaningful to me personally. Octane Blue and Boombringer weren't the only ones doing live streams to celebrate the 10 years of Skylanders, however. I'll be doing my own celebration stream in full next Sunday, but apart from me, there was also SCL Matt, otherwise known as Skylanders Character List Matt. Now, I loved how he presented his stream and his dedication in creating it. He stayed around, similarly to Boombringer, for 10 hours. It was 10 hours with 10 giveaways for 10 years of Skylanders. To fill the time, he played Imaginators, but one thing SCL Matt is great for is interaction with his chat. It was a fun stream to watch, and it was filled with generosity. We're talking about 10 individual giveaways here. SCL Matt is such a legend for fulfilling upon that, and I have mad respect for the production of this celebratory stream. It's also worth mentioning that Bumble Blaster did some awesome streams along the way as well, and as we all know, his personality is distinctive and he's incredibly wholesome. Therefore, these streams are no different, and his kindness will truly put a smile on your face. Of course, another staple of my childhood, at least Skylanders related, was Coin Op TV. I'm sure most of you can relate. Well, he isn't just creating short clips to collaborate with other content creators, he also made a discussion video of his own. He talks about his early history covering Skylanders, how it helped his channel grow, but he also went into talking about memories playing through the game and making his own videos. There was a rather personal touch, and it was great to have such an informative video that gave me a nice kick of nostalgia. Of course, he also talks about his hopes and dreams for the future of the franchise, and it was great to hear such fantastic ideas, and I would flip if any of them were made, as I'm sure we all would. Finally, it was great to hear about how Skylanders gave him opportunities nothing else ever could. Skylanders truly impacted his life for the better, and that's amazing. BRR Games did something very unique to him. He took advantage of his signature style, making a parody music video based off We Are the World. He created his signature animations of characters singing and overlaid those animations over trailer footage. The song was catchy and powerful, so overall I'm really impressed that BRR Games brought his signature style to the celebration pool of videos featured, well, in this video. BRR Games wasn't the only channel creating music videos though. A channel by the name of Molly Lisi made a video called Skylanders Never Die. It combines powerful lyrics with footage from Skylanders cutscenes and trailers. I love the song itself, it's catchy and hits all the right notes. The video feels grand in scale and is a true celebration about what makes Skylanders so special. Even the title references the dedication of the community and how our passion is one part of Skylanders that will never die out. The most important part, if you were to ask me. We also managed to get a few ranking videos for the 10-year anniversary. One came from Serbian Skylanders, where he ranked all 187 levels from the entirety of the franchise. Quite a daunting task, I'm aware, so I applaud the ambition and dedication it took to get this project made. Naturally, this also means that the video was personal to Serbian Skylanders. His rankings were unique to him, and it was wonderful to see what he thought about each of the individual levels. Rumbletown was a very nice number one. I also really enjoyed that level, but with that being said, all his opinions were still wrong, because that's how opinions work. Before this video, however, Serbian Skylanders also managed to compress 10 years of Skylanders into 7 minutes, making a fast-paced and really fun edit out of it, which definitely celebrated all the best of Skylanders and gave me that nice kick of nostalgia that all celebration videos should do. I'm very impressed with the structure of the editing. He chose great music, put the clips into a perfect order, and overall, he just left an impact with this video. What a great celebration of 10 years indeed. It was also refreshing to see some 3DS footage, because that side of the franchise isn't nearly celebrated enough, and the 3DS games are pretty underrated if you were to ask me. Of course, I also really appreciate the quick clips used to celebrate the current content creators keeping Skylanders alive, such as myself. What a lasting final touch indeed. One of the other ranking videos to celebrate 10 years of Skylanders was Bulldozer ranking all of the games. Now this final tier list is wrong on so many levels, because as always that's just how opinions work. Superchargers deserved so much better, but otherwise this is pretty solid. Most of the games are where I'd put them also, but the main bread and butter, which is what makes this video as good as it is when he goes into great detail about his opinions and perspectives of each Skylanders game. Seeing that passion and dedication was incredible, and I once again applaud for quality going into this video. It's presented very nicely, and it makes the ranking rather enjoyable to watch. Finally, Saving Skylanders also made a ranking video, amongst other things, for the 10-year anniversary of Skylanders. He did a review for Toys for Bob's live stream, which everyone in the community seemed to absolutely flip over for. He also did a collection video showcasing what his collection looks like 10 years later. It's obviously quite impressive. Any collection to any capacity is, as it's a collection unique to the individual involved, and that person choosing to share it with the world passionately is always welcome. Then he finished it off with a guide for getting back into Skylanders in 2021, which was well made and very informative. But the main bread and butter, and the thing which truly speaks Spyro's adventure as turning 10 years old the most, was his ranking of the original 32 Skylanders, which came from that game in and of itself. As always, the individual placements of characters were unique, and it was great to watch Saving Skylanders build up the video in his signature style. He did well keeping things concise, but still being detailed enough on the opinions he had of each of these characters and why they wound up on the ranking list where they were. Overall, a very enjoyable video to watch as always. Saving Skylanders has just simply put a good speaker, and he has a great style for his videos, with this one here being no exception. However, Ignito in 5th place. Yes, you're absolutely right about Ignito being better than Chop Chop, but he's also better than all those 4 other characters preceding him. How could you put such a perfect character as those number 5? It's wrong on so many levels. I don't make up the rules, I just reinforce them, and the rules state that your opinion is wrong. After all, that is indeed how it works. I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, I do love the touch in his title, however, giving you a trigger warning, probably. After all, some of these are pretty controversial takes, but that's a given when sharing your opinion online that not everyone will agree. Luckily, our community is as good as it is, and we're really good at celebrating one another's opinions rather than shaming them. Seeing the supportive comments on his video proves that point exactly, and it's always welcoming to see such wholesome commenters that love the game as much as both myself and Saving Skylanders himself love it. Fiery Ninja Dog made a tribute video for the 10-year anniversary. It featured visuals and music like many other videos previously mentioned, however that doesn't take away from it still having the same impact as those other videos, mind you. I still feel that same sense of awe and pride when watching, being reminded about why I love this franchise and getting that pleasant kick of nostalgia along the way. This tribute also looked through all of the games, and it was generally well put together, so that it could truly be 10 years of my childhood condensed into 12 minutes of absolute glory. JJ2 Nexus made a very stylized and fun video to watch. His personality, editing and music choices really add a fast-paced feeling to his videos. Specifically, he chose to talk about what makes the series so great in his eyes. There were points he made which are so relatable, it's something all Skylanders fans could connect to, and that's what makes this video all the more impactful. I just love seeing a personal style and passion put into these videos, and that's exactly what I got from this one. I do wish more Skylanders music was used, but the music choices still fit, but more importantly, they were clearly personal choices to JJ2 Nexus to make his video celebrating 10 years of Skylanders feel all the more unique and memorable. This Toys for Bob live stream that everyone flipped over for, as I mentioned earlier, was very good. There was some great insight featured, which isn't stuff we didn't necessarily know already, but it was nice having all of this information summarized so personally here. Many developers joined to talk about the impact and joy that Skylanders and its fans had brought to them. They were truly proud of their accomplishments developing this game. There were great collaborative elements throughout the development of Skylanders Price Adventure, as it would turn out, because it was not just character designers who would pitch ideas for new Skylanders. All departments would, sometimes even animators potentially. It was truly an experience, since developing for Skylanders was unlike developing for any other game. After all, there were so many characters to flesh out rather than the simple 1 or 2 most other games would simply just have to perfect. They even gave credit to their voice actors in the live stream and talked about how the entire development team became like family. Don Toretto would be proud right about now.
What's real is family.
Overall, they made a great job of using Skylanders in the game as they talked about them, and an early Spyro's Kingdom prototype was even showcased. The level design looked similar to that of Stone Town from the final game, and it was great to see that Chompies were always there, even from the very beginning. Dozens of creators even made videos reacting to the tweet and expressing their excitement for this Toys for Bob livestream, and the fact that the company actually acknowledged and celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the franchise alongside us. Others, specifically Sky Ninja, whose video you see before you, made quick recaps for 7 minutes straight. This video even did impressively well, as currently sitting at over 3,000 views, which goes to show that there is still an audience for Skylanders. You make the content and people will watch. Sky Ninja, on top of that, also did a collection flex. I love how he titled the video very unique to his personal style, and speaking of things that are personal, that's exactly what a collection is. So once again, being able to see all of these incredibly personal collections, well, it's amazing, for a lack of a better way of putting it. Seeing the work and passion that went into 10 years of collecting, it's just always astonishing to see summarized so well, and therefore Sky Ninja did a great job with this collection video. Again, I still love that title, mind you, and it's the perfect way to celebrate 10 years if you were to ask me, as is every other video showcasing this video, you could go as far to say. As for Skybrooks Gaming 83, he made a very simple video where he just sat down and thanked people. No script or anything, and yet somehow it still managed to be the most goddamn wholesome video on this list. Skybrooks Gaming 83 is genuinely a really nice lad, and his personality is really fun to watch. It goes to show that, considering it's his personality of his that carries the entire video, he also touches upon some history, since me and him have been friends since before I even hit 50 subscribers. I remember, to celebrate 50 subscribers, I gave away a tide pool which he actually won. It took me almost a year to get his prize shipped off to him, but eventually I was able to send him that tide pool along with a handful of other figures. And to think that package went overseas to reach him all the way in America. Just hearing all these people who've impacted his life and knowing his gratitude for all that is something so incredibly humbling to watch. He did add music to the background too, so the video doesn't have an empty feeling, and it's truly an entertaining watch as it celebrates what's left of Skylanders at this point in time. Sure, you're not going to get a new Skylanders game anytime soon, but we, the people of the community, are still here. We're driven and passionate, and that is something which won't die out anytime soon, not for many years to come at least. Upon doing research for this video, I came across a 10-year anniversary celebration video with an interesting edit that turned out to be the first ever video of a new SkyTuber who goes by the name of Trouble Tiki. In this edit, he looked at the canonical landing of Chaos in Africa when he gets banished to Earth. He uses green screen and an African background to end off the video, leading to a hilarious ending. I appreciate he took into account the actual canonical ending of the game in order to make this. Definitely one of the shorter celebratory videos worth checking out. Now, I do apologise for anyone whose celebration videos I missed. Unfortunately, I'm human and I make mistakes. It's hard for one person to get around to everyone. Also, I made this on October 25th, so any celebration videos made after that obviously couldn't be included, because I can't exactly see into the future now, can I? Again, only human and all that. In conclusion, we've had dozens upon dozens of creators either come together for massive collaborations or strike out solo and make excellent celebration videos that manage to celebrate Spyro's adventure as a game in of itself, as well as just how the franchise as a whole has evolved and impacted our lives personally throughout the years to make up what is one of the greatest gaming communities on the entirety of the internet. We truly care for one another, as we're always there to support one another and welcome newcomers to the series or to content creation in general. Now, this past week alone, with all the videos that have dropped celebrating Skylanders' 10th anniversary, it truly does put emphasis on not only how passionate this community is, but also just how talented we all are. These videos are special, they're all well constructed, emotionally powerful and resonant. The work that went into these is exceptional, and it makes me proud to be a part of such an incredible community, because by all definitions of the word, that is what we are. No matter our backgrounds, locations or cultures, we are united by our shared passion. Now it's time for me to finish this video before I start to sound even more like a broken record. So here's to another 10 years of Skylanders in whatever direction the community and the franchise takes. And on one final note, Trouble Tiki wasn't the only person who celebrated Skylanders with their debut video. DJ Blake, aka Spin to Win, also did that. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorpion Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!